This is my final recap of the program I participated in to protect and serve. It has sadly come to an end, and I must say, out of all the programs that I participated in, this was one of the most rewarding. I went into this program as a skeptical human because cops were evil, but I came out with a greater understanding of why police do what they do and when they do it. I did learn that a lot of the police officers' decision-making was taken away from them with the advent of the body camera. The purpose of this camera was to protect civilians, but in hindsight, all the body camera does is to make sure that the police officer follows procedure. Once that camera's on and the police officer is following procedure, there's no consequence. So if they use extra force, that they didn't necessarily need to. If they shoot someone because it's allowed in the procedure but they really didn't need to, it's giving police the power. And the other thing that I learned is when the police respond to certain types of calls, one being a weapon present, that body camera has to go on. Only if the weapon is present by the perp or a civilian. If the weapon is present by other officers or them, that camera does not have to go on in a lot of situations, in a lot of jurisdictions. And what that does is that empowers them. Because what happens before that camera goes on is a lot of things that can potentially happen. But let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the fact that we're creating and we're holding cops to a lesser standard because when that cop shows up to that call and their uniform requires them to carry multiple deadly weapons, a gun, a knife, a baton, a taser, just to name a few, and if they respond to a call and the civilian has a pencil as a weapon, that camera has to go on. So I ask society as a whole, why? Why are we protecting the police to do procedure when the civilian has a weapon, but we're not asking police to follow a procedure when they have a weapon? And there's no real ramifications as long as they follow procedure. If that camera doesn't go on because procedure didn't require it, it's okay. So I ask you, who do the cops work for? The cops work for the public. Who pays the cops? The public. Whose resources do the cops use? The public. So why do we hold cops to a lower standard and not a higher standard? I don't worry about procedure. I worry about doing the right thing. I worry about creating a happy and a fun environment for the population and all of us humans to live in. One of the people that I ran into during my research said the one thing that I learned in academy was that every single call I go on, there's a gun presence. Because you know what? That perp, that civilian, can always easily take that gun away from the cop. Right out of the pocket, right out of the holster. You don't know what happens when you're getting in a tussle or a fight or something like that. So why, again, are we creating policies that on the surface appear to do good, but when we implement them, they're protecting the wrong people and not creating a happier, more fun society? So I'm looking forward to continuing to my education and to understand how the police can become an organization in America that puts the civilian first.